everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio. The project I'm going to do for you today kind of has a bunch of different things working for it. So in the summer, I don't do as many classes. I do Card Club. And so for Card Club, I offer some alternate stamp sets. So I'm going to do the alternate stamp set today, and I'll explain a little bit on how my Card Club works. And that for those of you that aren't in Card Club, I'm going to use a bundle, and the bundles are 10% off right now, an additional 10% off. Bundles are always 10% off, and in June, you get 10% off again on the bundle price. So you'll get to see that. I don't know, kind of a little scattered, I guess. So we'll just get going and then I'll remember things as I go, I guess. So the actual bundle that we're using in Card Club this month is Friends for Life. It's part of the Full of Life suite. So in my Card Club, it's online only. You get most months. Sometimes it's usually December if we do something a little quirky. But most months you get half a pack of Designer Series paper. And this month it's a 6x6, so you get straight up half a pack. So you get 2 of each of the designs. It's a really fun paper pack this month. You get a full spool of ribbon most months. This month it is the iridescent strip trim, I think is what it's called. This is currently on back order. Thankfully, I ordered it and the next day it was on back order, so I do have it coming, so you don't have to worry about it. The iridescent gems that are part of this suite are on back order, but that's okay, because back when we did the zinnias for Card Club, the embellishments that went with that were the adhesive back shiny sequins, and they were on back order. So we did something else. I don't remember what thankfully, embellishments, if they aren't available when a suite is, when we do it for Card Club, it's easy to substitute. So we're going to do the sequins. So those have been ordered and those are coming. You have till the 10th if you would like to join. So the way my Card Club works is you can substitute a different stamp because all of the die cuts will come ready for you. So here is the first, this is the first card for Card Club. If you're not in Card Club and you just want to get the bundle, it's 10% off and then 10% off in June. So this is the first project they'll make. And so these die cuts will all be cut for them. They don't have to have them, and then they could substitute other stamps if they need to. These are some other cards. These both have tutorials on my channel. And then this is just another simple card. This is a punch bundle. So that one is, this one I think is one of the ones that you can get the punch bundle or the die bundle. If you choose the die bundle, it's the die bundles that are on sale, then that one would be on sale. It is the die bundle because I bought just the dies. I didn't buy the stamp sets. So I could get it now because I had this discussion with my girlfriend who actually designed this card because she got the punch bundle. I could buy the die bundle, but then you get 3 dies. So I would have 6 dies if I wanted to get the stamps. So I'm not going to do that because I don't need 6 of those dies. Then in the summer and sometimes in other months, I do what I call an alternate thing. So if you're in club, you get the video tutorials, and that is for 3 additional projects. Y'all get to see this one, and then the Card Club members will get to see the other 2. The people who add on the alternate set will get the supplies to make the 3 cards. We do 3 designs, 2 of each, plus envelopes in regular Card Club. In the alternate design, they get the supplies for the 3 cards, just 1 of each. So this month I'm doing Simply Sparkling because it matches the paper so well. I wanted to do the Spotlight on Nature, but it's on back order and it won't be in time before Card Club has to go out. But this is a perfect match. So I'm not going to use the soda can. We will use it in Card Club. I'm not using it on this card. So I wanted to see a card. My favorite part about the whole thing is the little pull tab, especially when you cut it out of silver. This is the holographic paper, and we'll do something in Card Club. So those of you that have ordered this, you will get some silver paper because we'll definitely use the can. Probably on the other 2 cards. On this one, we're just going to use the fruit. So here's what you'll get. And let's make your first project with the alternate design. So this is a Spotlight on Nature. It's showing that it'll be back in stock before the end of the month. So while it's still on sale. So I will try to watch for it but we are going to be on vacation the end of the month. That's why Card Club's going out early this month. Get these punched out. That happens to you in Card Club too, I know, because it comes die cut, but I don't have time to punch all those things out for you. So you'll get this, and then I chose this piece of paper, but you could use any of the pieces of paper. But this is the one that I chose because the fruit, I thought about this one. This is the one I started with, but then for the way I wanted to cut it, this one actually worked better. But you can use whatever. And then my sample card doesn't look tremendous because this was really running out of fluid. And if you're like me, you suck every last bit out of your Stella before you give up on it. And that's where I was. And I was going to open this, but I decided to do it for two reasons. One, if you are in Card Club or if you are doing my Thoughtful Journey class, we are going to, in Thoughtful Journey, make that shimmer paper. You're going to need a Wink of Stella. If you do my classes, you know you need a Wink of Stella. It's on low inventory again. So I wanted to remind you as I did this. But sometimes I get emails from all of you and you tell me that your Wink of Stella is not working. And part of it's because then when I tell you how to do it, you realize this ring comes off. So when you get a new one, you got to take this off. It stops it from activating while it's sitting on the shelves or being shipped. So when you screw this together, it kind of pops the little thing in there so it will work. So I want to just show you how to do it. And then sometimes the very first little glop of it, a lot comes out. So I want to do it over the top of my stamp pad when I'm ready to use it so it doesn't just get wasted. So we have this to stamp the sentiment and then this to stamp our fruit. There was one more piece of fruit. So here's sometimes how I design. There was one more piece of fruit. It's a peach. And there's actually peach on here on my piece of paper. So actually, but remember I was using this piece. So this is the piece that I was using. And when I have the peach, I was like, well, there's not a whole lot of peach on the paper. When I switched to this, I was like, dang it, I should have used the peach because we have peach pie ink, right? I could have colored in peach and it would have looked cute. But here's why I stopped. Because I wanted to put all of my stamps on one block and the peach didn't fit. So if you're in Card Club and you're doing this one and you want to use your peach, by all means use the peach because it will fit on the card and it would look super cute. And we have peach pie. I just didn't because it didn't fit on here. So I'm going to stamp once. Your piece of paper is going to be cut differently. This was just what I had laying on my table. Maybe it will fit. Last time I may have stamped more towards the middle. Yeah, this is going to fit. So maybe yours will be like this too. And you could still even get the peach on here, I think. But I like to stamp everything at once if I can. And once I put those on there, I didn't really notice that there was another peach, another fruit until I was done. And I was like, oh, there's a peach. Where's the... See, I didn't have this open. I had it like this. And if you're like me and it's laying like this all covered up, I didn't notice. I thought I got them all. See, there's the peach. So use the peach if you want to. And I had the peach pie pad laying on my table. Then you're going to put your sentiment on this. And I did the same thing. I put 2 sentiments on here. So it says best ever birthday wishes. Kind of fills up the whole thing then. I also did not do this just because when you're designing a card, sometimes you don't know what it's going to look like, right? And again, I was doing this in my head. So the way I was putting it together, it wasn't going to have a circle on it because that's squares. But then when I was done, I needed this and then my Stella was very, very dry. And there's a much better way to color it than what I did. But I had started the opposite. So I'm going to use Balmy Blue, which none of my fruits were blue. And when I went to this piece of paper, there's obviously blue on the paper. And so I wanted to, I pulled it into the tag. So squish your pads together. So there's been a bit of kerfluffle. I don't know what. So when I went to Mexico, I had dinner one night with one of the Stampin' Up! Executives. And it was, ask me whatever you want. And one of the things we talked about was apparently there's rumors going around that Stampin' Up! Is switching our stamp pads to the Close to My Heart design. And she said while they did buy the patent, They were only looking at it, that nothing has been decided, nothing, they're just kind of looking at it. So you're going to squeeze this. You'll see the fluid start to move down. And sometimes that first little squeeze before the tip gets wet, a lot comes out. See? So that's why I wanted to do it on something where I needed a lot. But then I guess some former close to my heart people were making it sound like it was set in stone and that in 2 years our pads would be changing. That is not truth. So if you're hearing that, it's not true. So don't worry, you're not gonna have to replace your pads in 2 years. We're not gonna have a different style in 2 years. And our pads have changed over the years, so it's not that they could never change, but it's not happening in 2 years. And catalogs are done more than 2 years out. So if they haven't even, like they haven't, we got word today from the home office that no, that is not true. So not true. And I love our pads like this. And I know when they first came out, people had a hard time opening them. I think that you get used to it. So I'm just brushing this on here, and I don't need these two colors in my fruit. I need to get my tip a little bit wetter. I'm always so nervous the first time. See, that's why I'm nervous. I'll just leave this one open, and we will use this for a little bit of a place to grab some ink. There we go. Now my brush is wet. You can tell when the brush finally has fluid on it, and I'm going to use that for my Shy Shamrock. I don't remember what colors I used on what. But I'm going to use this as a little palette. Thankfully, I've got a couple of greens coming up. So let's get these leaves. And I'm not going for a lot of shading. This is going to be a bright, fun, sunny card. So I want the colors to be bright. They don't have to be shaded. It doesn't have to take a long time. In fact, if you go too dark on these colors on the fruit, you risk covering up the black lines, and we don't want that to happen. So now on this thing, I'm going to kind of clean off my pad. I don't have to so much between the greens. Now I'm going to do Granny Apple. You can go back over here where I squished out all that. I knew it would happen because it always happens when you do a new Stella before you get your tip wet. So if you know what you're going to color, it kind of helps because you can be ready. Some Old Olive. Let's get these leaves. I do know how to color in the lines. And then we'll come over here. I wanted there to be more blue than more of the other colors because once we start going here on the fruit, all those other colors are going to start to be represented. Okay, we have one more green, which is Old Olive. No, we have two more greens. There's lots of greens because there's all these leaves and there's a line. So pull this. And we have the cherries. I'm telling myself to clean that off, but there's so much Stella in there. I hate to waste Stella. All that glittery goodness. This is our last green. It's the Lemon Lime Twist. Everything's going to have a tinge of Pool Party to it. But that's okay. Pool Party's a light color. I love the lime. See, there's lots of greens. We haven't used any other colors yet. I knew there was a green I missed. Sometimes when I'm talking. See, we've got all the way up to there and we're just now to some colors. So make sure this is clean, because now we're going to go to yellow. You want to end with your strongest colors because you don't want to have Berry Burst on there and then try to get to your yellow or to your Pool Party if you know what colors you're doing. Sometimes we don't know. Like I started with Berry Burst because I didn't know what I was going to do, and the Berry Burst was on my table because I had done this card with Berry Burst and Peach Pie. That's why Peach Pie was on the table. Oh, can I get a little bit of this? Yep. As long as you have more of one color, you can make up for the fact that there is some Pool Party in there. So if you're watching this and you are in club or you are doing Thoughtful Journey and you don't have a full or a nearly full Stella, I would recommend getting one. Because you'll need it. And then for July, we will be doing the Make Your Own Shimmer class for Card Club as well. And if the Stellas aren't back in stock, you'll definitely need it. We will be using the new Christmas suite. That will be an online exclusive for July Club. We'll do a Christmas in July, and it is a really beautiful suite. It has gold foil and gold in the paper. This one, you can tell I refilled it with a ink pad, and so I'm 100% positive it will override any Pool Party that shows up. Because that's some really strong poppy there. I love Poppy Parade. And it's a really good strawberry color. It's probably not a realistic strawberry color, but it's great for art strawberries. Make sure you leave a tiny bit of white on those. Otherwise, this much poppy can be a little bit overwhelming. Okay, and then like I said, I did my cherries in Berry Burst, but cherries can have, you know, a little bit of red. So I just cleaned my brush because I wasn't putting anything on there. And I just added a little bit of poppy there. I think this still has enough because poppy's a pretty bright color. Squidge a little bit of red on there. And then we're going to end with the Berry Burst. Again, a bright color. So I think I'll be okay to get this last of this out of here. It does have quite a bit of Pool Party in it, but I think we're good. So this, you can see it has that little place where the shine hits. So I'm gonna do my whole cherry. And then we're gonna go back and do a second coat. Kind of leave some of that poppy, so part of it's covered and part of it's not. I want there to be different variations of the Berry Burst. Just kind of lightly go over it there. You can see that poppy kind of just brightens it up right there. Cherries have been so expensive. We haven't had any yet. Normally by this time of the year, we're kind of on a cherry kick, but every time I go to the store, they're really expensive and they don't look great. And I don't want to bring cherries home that I just spent $20, $30 on in 2 days. They've gone mushy. It makes me want to go up to Michigan and pick some. But really, by the time you take days off and go up to pick something and pay for the gas and a hotel, you should have just paid for the cherries, right? Okay, so there we go. Although I do love to go to Michigan. Get this last little thing here. I'm gonna go ahead and put some more on here. Get the last of that out of there. There we go, that looks better. a fun way to kind of highlight the edges of that Spotlight on Nature die too, because you can see them. So now you're going to need to take your dies, and if you've used the peach, do it as well. That would also be one more green that you could add, because you would have the leaves on that. Clean this off. If you don't want to leave a dark color on like that, just let me run these through my die cut machine. All right, so those are cut off. So we have a 6x6 sheet of paper that we need to fit on a regular size card. I contemplated making it a 6x6 card, but then you guys are always like, well, what envelope do I put that in? So I decided I would make it a standard size card. So that means you're going to have to take your paper and you're going to have to decide which colors you like the best. But I did go ahead and I made it full size of this. So this is going to be the whole front. So you're going to need to trim it to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So obviously I needed less of the blue because these are the colors of our fruit. So I'm going to lose more of this. I don't remember which side I did it. So let's do this to be the 5 1/2. So we have 5 1/2. Now we need 4 1/4. But you don't have to take it all from one side. Let's do a fraction from here. This is our 5 1/2, so the other way needs to be 4 1/4. We're going to take it off this side. Okay, so every time you cut it, it could be a little bit different. It doesn't matter. You just need to have it so you have some of all the colors, and it's 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And then you'll have pieces of scrap. You could put them on the inside. You could save them for another project. All of the backs are going to be pretty, depending on, and again, all a little bit different. So what we're going to do is we are going to start, and this is totally different than the other one I did. So we'll just mount it all a little bit totally different. So I want this again to cover up the blues because I don't have any blue fruit to put there. And take my ribbon. I like that it's totally different because then if you cut your paper totally different than I did, you'll have an idea of how to do yours. So I'm going to tie a bow. This ribbon ties beautifully. I don't know when it's due back in. I just saw that it was unavailable. I didn't look for the due back date. But usually the things aren't out of stock for too long. So I want it, not a giant bow, maybe this big. There we go. So I'm going to mount this flat to my card. And again, I'm going to cover up mostly blue if I can, as much just blue as I can. The nice thing when you work on a circle is that you can spin your circle so your words are straight, so you don't have to worry about stamping your words straight. I'm going to add just a little bit of adhesive right where I want my bow to go. And then we'll flip this over. Before I do that, let's get our card ready. I love this paper because usually with Card Club, I have to think about all the different colors that I want to order and have lots and lots of packets of all the colors. And really for this one, white works best because it is one of the cards we're using Lost Lagoon. Everything else is white. And I really just did the Lost Lagoon to prove that you could do something else. But white just makes the cards bright and it works really well with them. So now I'll pop this on here. And then I'm going to put my fruits in all of the colors, in the color sections that they are. And I'm going to do one down. So we'll start with one down. And then this happened on my other one too, where the little bow was kind of covering up my birthday wishes. You can still see it, probably not on camera as well as you can in real life. But I just took, because it's a see-through ribbon, so you can still read it. But I just took and glued that one a little bit down. And then let's take a dimensional and do one up. So we're going to do every other. way up, then we'll do it down. Keeps the ribbon keeps sticking to the, and then we'll do it up. So this part stays the same, and you should be able to fit your things on. Put that so kind of the green's over going. Now we're to our strawberries, and we're to our flat one. And then our raised up one. Flat cherry. And it works no matter which of the hues of the colors that you use, because they're all Stampin' Up! Colors in these papers. So it's going to look perfect, because no matter what of the colors you use, any of the purples on the cherries will work. Any of the reds will work. Any of the yellows will work. Any of the greens, because they're all kind of in there. That to go a different direction. Pull that up before I stick it down. Maybe I want this one to go higher. This one to go higher. And this one to go lower. And then we have our wonderful sequins. So the ones that go with the suite are just iridescent. These have the colors, they just don't have any blues. So I'm just gonna do, I'm not gonna do 2 of the yellows because that's a little bit of overkill. So I'll do 2 greens. And then I will do one of these yellows on the tag. It's a super fun sparkly card. And we'll do 2 of the pinks over here. And then a yellow here. You want to do an odd number. So I just kind of spaced them out. So here it is with the paper cut this way. Isn't that a fun summer card? My daughter's birthday's in July. This would be fun for her. This is how it looks when you're not running out of ink and your thing doesn't get streaky. Here it is cut a different way and a little bit more of a tie-dye look, because I had no Stella left and I was determined to make it work. It still is okay. And when you get to the end of the Stella, sometimes you do a big squeeze. So they're painted really nicely because I squeezed it all out, but by then there was nothing left. So this, you can see it was cut a little bit different. It could also just be, no, it is cut different. I thought maybe I just flipped it the other direction. Super fun. So if you're interested in joining my card club, there's a card club page on my website. It's under the stamping tag, because you know it's all about stamping. And you always get the information when it's club time every month in my email. So go to my website and join my email list. And I have all the information too on the bundle sale. So you can find out about that in my email and on my newsletter. Everybody have a great day, and I'll catch you back here later. Bye.